Welcome, my friend, to another episode of the DMD podcast, the show for men who are striving to be better fathers, better husbands, and leaders. Now, today's episode is a little bit different, and it's one I've been reflecting on for a little while. Why? Well, because today is my birthday. That's right. Today I turn 44 years old. And I can't believe that time has gone that fast. As you know, time goes faster the older that we get. But birthdays have a unique way of making us pause. For me, it offers a chance to really reflect not just on the year that's gone by, but on the years that have gone by and on the lessons that I've learned in the journey that lies ahead. You know, my birthday's in January. And we're just coming off New Year's, and a lot of people ask me about New Year's resolutions. And I don't really make New Year's resolutions, but I fall into this every time I get around my birthday, January 22nd, where this is like my New Year's Eve. This is like my kickoff for the new year. I spend a lot of time reflecting on this, and this is when I tend to set a lot of my goals. And so today I want to share with you some key reflections, some key takeaways from my 44 years and a few thoughts that I think every dad, every man can resonate with as we try to make a difference in our families, in our work, in our communities. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see my eyes keep going down because I wrote this as a journal. And I wasn't going to share this with you because it's my private journal, but I decided I was going to open it up and just share with you what I wrote down as I was reflecting as I head into my birthday. So, four key reflections, because I could get into a lot, 44 years of reflections. I could do 44 reflections, but you don't want to hear that. So, I did four. I divided it by 11 and I'll do four. And the first is this: it's the power of presence. I've learned so much over the years. I've learned so much over the last few years, especially as being a dad for the last 12 years. But if I've learned anything that's important, it's about this. It's about being present is one of the greatest gifts that we give to our kids, to our spouse, and to ourselves. Because life gets busy. We just came out of a weekend where we were out of town for a soccer tournament, and we loved it. But we're pulled in 100 different directions all the time. But the moments that matter aren't the big events. They aren't the sporting events, the big family vacations. It's the small ones. It's the bedtime stories. It's tucking my children in at night. It's the driveway basketball and floor hockey games. It's the long talks over coffee. Well, with my wife, Kim, but she doesn't drink coffee. She drinks her Earl Grey latte or her London Fog. But it's those times that we can spend together. And I am guilty of always thinking about, hey, what's next? What's next? What's the next move? What's the next launch? What's the next person? Who's the next person that I can help? And I have my family right around me all the time. And they need my help. They need my presence. And if you're like me, and if you're always thinking about what's next, be careful not to miss what's here. I have hustled for the last 10 years. Fight the Dabble, it's 10 years old this year. Now, trust me, I've learned this the hard way. To be there, be present, and not get distracted by the busyness of what's next. Just be where you are. We had an episode last year where one of the guests said, be where your feet are. Be present in the moment. And so my challenge to myself and to you is this: show up fully, because those moments, that's where life happens. We're sitting around the dinner table. My son out of nowhere said, hey, what were your favorite memories about the Oregon trip? Because we went to Oregon this past summer. And for the next 15 minutes, we went around the table. Everybody kind of stopped eating. We were throwing out these memories, these key things. And it was amazing to see what my kids and my family remembered in these little tiny moments. It wasn't the big things. It was like the little moments in a day trip or the little moments on a road trip where we had just done something spontaneously and they brought one little thing that stuck in their core memory. And so I want to encourage you, the power of presence. Be where you are in the moment. The moments that matter aren't the big events, they're the small ones. So treasure them, cherish them as you're stepping into your role as a husband, as a father, and as a leader. So that's my number one takeaway is the power of presence. I'm working on that now. Truthfully, guys, I struggle with that. I find it really easy to get into this office here in my home, distract myself with work, distract myself with busyness, with coaching, with consulting, and to let the busyness of life go by outside my office door. And so if you know me, reach out to me, hold me accountable for presence. I'm going to hold you accountable to the same because that's what we're here for. And Dad's Making a Difference, we're here to hold each other accountable and to support each other in our journey. And so this is part of my journey to be more present. As I turn 44, my word, can't believe it. All right, second reflection that I want to share with you on my birthday, the importance of intentional relationships. Now, as I've gotten older, I've realized how much relationships define the quality of my life. Uh, and not just our families. Truthfully, for me, the difference maker in my life has been the relationships that I've been able to build with other men. I'm going to go back a decade. In 2015, those of you who know my story know I was in a really dark spot, a tough spot physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually in my life. And it was through the creation of Fight the Dad Bod, the goal of connecting with other men to help support men live fit, healthy, fulfilled lives with their family. It was a great mission. But truthfully, inside, I was trying to fill a gap. I was looking for connection. I was looking for men to have a connection with. I grew up playing sport, high school, college, basketball. When I was playing college basketball, I didn't have to work at making connections. I showed up at training camp in the middle of the summer and bang, there were 14 other guys there, and we had no choice but to get along and work together toward a shared goal. I've been a product of coaching my entire life. I've been a product of teams. And at that point in my life, I was 34 years old in 2015, and I was alone. I didn't have a team. I didn't have a coach. And I leaned in and hired my first coach in 2015. After that, I started Fight the Dad Bod. I started coaching. I started to be able to build connections with other men, get them amazing results in their health for their families. But honestly, it filled a gap that I needed. I needed intentional relationships. I needed to be able to show up for other people and give my strength and my passion to them to motivate them, to push them, to encourage them to keep moving forward. Because I want to be honest with you, close friends, I don't have a ton. I've got I could count them on one hand. And I think a lot of us guys are that way. Maybe we have 2 or 3 really close friends, people we can rely on. And then we have the next layer of friends, those secondary friends who are acquaintances. And it's great to see them. And maybe you go out for a beer with them, maybe you hang out, but they're not your 3 a.m. friend. Like I got two 3 a.m. friends, guys I could call in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., and I know that they'd pick up. And then I have other periphery friends. But I don't have deep, lasting friendships from my childhood. I don't have friends in my life that I had in high school. The friends that I have now are guys I met playing basketball in college. Some of you have friends that you've had your entire life. And truthfully, I'm jealous of you. But this makes me think as a dad, when I see my son and my daughter build friendships in our community, on their teams, in their schools, in our neighborhood, I think about those friendships and I know they're young, but I still think, how many of these friends are solid friends that they will have their entire life? They have a couple right now, and I know they'll meet more in their life, but the power of intentional relationships can't be overstated. Because when I started coaching guys, I started jumping into different coaching programs myself. I've invested in coaching for the last decade. I joined mastermind groups, which is a group of men or group of individuals who come together with a shared goal. They bring their expertise, they speak into each other's life, they hold them accountable, they challenge them to grow and be better. And I've been part of mastermind since 2017 now. I have found so many amazing connections in those networks, in those masterminds, but I've been able to prioritize relationship building. It's made me come out of my shell. And now I know more men, hundreds, literally hundreds, if not thousands of men in the last 9 years, 8 years that I've been able to connect with and build relationships with. Now, of course, I haven't built close connections with all of those, but I still have text conversations with many of my clients that I coached in 2018, 2019, 6 years ago, because we built that connection. So let me tell you this. I didn't always prioritize friendships. I thought being busy was enough. I thought that just getting by was the norm. I thought that operating in a silo was normal. But the truth is this: we weren't meant to do life alone. You are not meant to do life alone. Surrounding myself with men who challenged me, encouraged me, and held me accountable was an absolute game changer for me. A game changer in my marriage, a game changer in my parenting, a game changer in my leadership, and in my health. And if you're listening to this right now thinking, man, I don't have that, my advice is simple: seek it out. Join a group. Ideally, join the Balanced Dad Blueprint. Guys, it's just started this month. We meet there every Monday and we hold each other accountable and we build relationships. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to build stronger relationships over time. And we're going to meet in person this year. And after those in-person meetups, our relationships and our bond will build, because we're going to do hard, amazing things together. So if you don't have that, join us. Go to dadsmakingadifference.ca. Learn all about Dads Making a Difference. You can talk about the mastermind, or you can look for coaching. Whatever route you go, surround yourself with men who are going to challenge, encourage, and hold you accountable. And truthfully, guys, it's not for everybody. It might not be for you. It's for givers. It's for guys who are motivated. It's for guys who want to show up. But maybe you're not ready yet for that. And that's okay too. Maybe text a friend, or just start by being the guy who shows up for others. Here's another turning point when I talk about intentional relationships. There's many times where we seek out relationships with other people so we can fill ourselves, so we can fill that need. I talked about starting Fight the Dad Bod, where I found that it filled the need, but my intention in all of it, through Fight the Dad Bod, through Dads Making a Difference, has been to serve other men. I get fired up by being able to help other people. I've done that my entire career, 17, 18 years in education, educational leadership, teaching, you name it, coaching, all the things that I've done. I get fired up when I'm able to help other people. When I can't help other people, I struggle. I struggle because I'm looking for meaningful connections. But I also know that by helping other people, I'm helping myself. And so for you, reach out. Connect with that friend, send the text message, be the guy who shows up for others, because when you show up for others, you're actually showing up for yourself. You're bringing the best of you to every situation. And so my second reflection as I was thinking about coming into my birthday was like, man, think about the relationships that you've been able to build, the connections you've been able to make, all because you took this one shot. In 2017, with no money in your bank account, and when I say no money, I mean like $234 in our bank account in 2017. And I joined a mastermind group that cost $25,000 American. Yes, American. I'm Canadian. So add 30% to that. I had $234 in my bank account, and I committed to a mastermind that would almost be $30,000 for the year. And my wife supported me in that. In that scary choice that I made to surround myself with people who could challenge me, hold me accountable, and help me grow, it changed the trajectory of my life forever. I think about where I am right now, sitting in this office, talking to you on this podcast, would not have happened if I didn't make that choice in 2017. So that's my challenge to you. If you're thinking about what's next, if you're seeking out relationships, if you don't have a group of men that can hold you accountable, then you need to seek that out. And seek it out first. Send me a message at Dads Making a Difference on Instagram, at Fight the Dad Bod on Instagram, wherever you want to connect with me. Those are the easiest ways. Or cam at dmdpodcast.com. I'd love to talk to you. All right, my third reflection on my birthday is growth requires discomfort. Here's a hard truth. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. You know, I talk about growth. I have this in my office. Know your why, aim for growth, take ownership. Growth has been a huge part of my professional journey, my personal journey, my relationship journey, my parenting journey, my spiritual journey. Committing to growth means committing to being uncomfortable so that you are challenged to grow. The most transformative moments of my life have come out of the challenges that I've had to face. Being a young dad, navigating our share of marriage struggles, and stepping into leadership roles that I didn't really feel ready for. I learned that discomfort isn't the enemy, it was actually the teacher. Because the workouts I wanted to do, the tough conversations I was trying to avoid, the risks I was scared to take, those things are actually where the opportunities for growth were found. So what did I do? I did the workouts. I got uncomfortable and I grew. I became healthier. I became stronger for my family. The tough conversations, I dove in and I became a great communicator. I'm just telling you, that's one of my strengths, and it's okay to acknowledge our strengths. One of the things I do well is communicate with others, to listen to what they're saying, to be able to think about their story and how it comprises who they are, and be able to communicate in a way that they feel heard, they feel seen, they feel supported, but they also feel challenged. And then I leaned into risk. I've always been risk averse in my life. Obviously, you know now, knowing the story of the $25,000 commitment, I'm less risk averse now than I've ever been in my life. I know by taking risks, I'm going to grow because that's where growth lives. And I want to challenge you because at 44, if I'm leaning into discomfort, why can't you? So whether it's in my fitness, getting up at 4:30 in the morning, which isn't so bad anymore, but was terrible for 30 days. So whether it was in my fitness, whether it's in my faith journey, in my relationships, I want to embrace the hard stuff because that's where the good stuff is too. I just had a conversation with my kids 45 minutes ago. They were doing the dishes and their mom came in and swooped in and wanted to help and scrub the tough pans. And the kids went off downstairs and I walked into the kitchen and my wife was scrubbing pans. I was like, what are you doing? The kids can do this. And she said, no, it's okay. I'm helping. And so I just walked away and went downstairs. I told the kids, come here. Your mom loves you. Your mom cares for you, and she's trying to help you. But you are not allowed to opt out of the hard things in your life. You are not able to opt out of the hard things that make you uncomfortable or are going to force you to be uncomfortable. That is where you're going to get better. So go upstairs right now, engage in the hard things. Don't opt out of them. Don't walk away from them. You're going to learn resilience. And yes, I know it's doing the dishes, but it's the mentality that I'm not going to walk away from this just because it's a little bit difficult. And so I challenge you, grow, challenge yourself, embrace discomfort, because when you embrace the hard stuff, that is where you're going to find the good stuff too. Number 4, legacy. Man, this word gets thrown out a lot, but legacy is built daily. It is built because it compounds day after day after day, conversation, action after action, movement after movement, you name it. Legacy is built daily. The older I get, the more I think about this. The more I think about legacy, not in terms of money or accolades, but in how I'll be remembered by the people who matter most. Will my kids remember me as a man who was kind, present, patient, safe, who loved their mother? Will my wife remember me as her partner in every sense of the word? Will my friends think of me as someone who has lifted them up and showed them that I was there when it mattered? So legacy isn't built in big, grand gestures. It's built by the small, consistent actions that we choose to do every day. I was just challenged with a question by guys in one of my mastermind groups about at the end of 2025, how do you want your kids to describe their dad? And that was paired with another question about how can we show up to be stronger husbands for our wives? And I thought about the two questions and I thought they connected together. If I make my wife more of a priority and I give her the attention that she deserves and I'm more present with her and I'm more open with her, my kids are going to see that. And so they're going to see dad as healthy and strong and fit and fun and present and trustworthy and honest and safe and all those things. But one of the things I really want my kids to say at the end of the year is, my dad really loves my mom. And so is the legacy that I'm building daily one that leads to that outcome? I'm going to ask you the same. What legacy are you building every day? What words are you choosing? What actions are you choosing? What things are you doing behind the scenes so that your family, your wife, your kids, your friends see you and they can say to others that that is a man who showed up when it mattered the most? Again, it's not built in the big things, guys. We think of legacy as this big, overwhelming, wow, I gotta leave my legacy. It's not about you. My legacy is not about me. My legacy is about the impact and the imprint I'm gonna have on my kids. And so I'm really thinking about that now, especially as I'm another year older. So just to review, 4 takeaways: the power of presence, be present in the moment, the importance of intentional relationships. Seek out relationships that are going to challenge you, support you, encourage you, and hold you accountable. Growth requires discomfort. Get uncomfortable, because where the hard stuff is and you embrace the hard stuff, that's where the good stuff's going to be too. Legacy is built daily. It's not in the grand gestures, but it's the small, consistent actions that we take every day. Okay, so here is my birthday challenge to you, my gift to you on my birthday. Take some time today to reflect on your own life. What lessons have you learned? What are you proud of? And where do you still want to grow? You don't have to wait for your birthday to take stock of your life. I shouldn't wait for mine. I should do this more often. But because the truth is this, every day is a chance for you to rewrite your story, to grow into the man you were meant to be, and to make a difference in the lives of the people you love. So I want to thank you for being part of this journey with me, for tuning in week after week, for sharing this with a man who needs to hear it, who needs encouragement, who needs a challenge, and for striving to be the kind of dad, husband, and leader that makes a difference. So if this birthday episode resonated with you, if my 4 takeaways resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Email me at cam@dmdpodcast.com and let me know what resonated with you the most. And if you know another dad who needs to hear this, please share the episode with him. Because here's to another year of growth, another year of learning, and another year of making a difference. I am grateful for you. And until next time, keep living with purpose and leading with impact. See you on the next episode of the Dads Making a Difference podcast.